Hey business owners, I created a quick Etsy shop checklist and I want to go over it with you because there are lots of things on here that you might not be aware of. So I created this checklist with the original goal of just helping you get your shop open and also giving you the ability to get 40 free listings. And so I mapped out all the steps that you need to take and kind of made just a literal checklist. However, after I looked at it and I went over, I kind of went over it in my head, I realized that there were some things that were missing. So I created some additional sheets that I've added to this checklist to help you keep up with your metrics. So in addition to setting up your shop, you also want to do things like keep up with certain key indicators so that you can make sure that you're on track and that you're reaching your sales and marketing goals. So I'm going to go through this with you really quickly, and then you can check it out. If you want to buy it, you can definitely do that. I do have it available in my shop and you can check it out. I'll put a link to that below this video. So the thing that you want to do is, of course, you want to click on this image. That's going to give you 40 free listings. So the thing that you also need to do is when you purchase this, you're going to get a link to a video that's going to show you everything you need to know about getting these 40 free listings. So it's not as simple as just going over and, doing a couple of clicks to get these listings. You really have to follow the instructions. So for example, if you already have an Etsy store, then this would not apply to you. You would not be able to get the 40 free listings. But if you're someone who's been thinking about opening a shop, or maybe you have a shop and you're thinking about opening a new shop, then you would definitely be able to get these 40 free listings. These are just for new shop owners. So that's one of the things that you need to think about. And then also, you need to follow the exact procedure for setting up your shop. So in other words, you click on this, you learn about getting the 40 free listings, then you want to open your account. If you open your account first and you set up your shop, you're not going to be able to go back and get the 40 free listings. So I have a video that explains all of that, and it walks you through step by step how to get the 40 free listings. And so you want to do that in the order that is shown on the checklist. And it kind of walks you through, opening your shop, setting up your preferences, and then optimizing your product listings. Now, in addition to that, I gave you some tools, the tools that we use in our Etsy store. So to be honest, I don't really do that much in my Etsy store because I am a big proponent of having your own shop. So I have a shop of my own. I have a WooCommerce store, and that runs in conjunction with my blog. However, if you're brand new to Etsy and you're just starting out, I would recommend having an Etsy store just because Etsy is going to send you traffic, right? So Etsy is really good at getting your business established because they're going to send you, that ready-made traffic. Etsy has, lots and lots and lots of visitors. And so there are people that are coming to Etsy looking for the products that you sell. And that's really the only reason I haven't actually closed down my Etsy store. But if you ever go out to my Etsy store, you're going to see there's really not that much there. Hopefully, there may be something there that you might like, but my primary focus is my WooCommerce store. But I still feel that Etsy is it's a great way for you to get started with e-commerce, and you don't have to outlay a whole bunch of money to begin with. Etsy used to be free. However, now I believe that they are charging, I want to say $15. It may be something different. They're not really clear on how much they're charging. So they may be kind of experimenting with different price points. but I do know that they are charging to open up a store. And that's, all the more reason that you might want to think about trying to get these 40 free listings, because that will be money that you can keep in your pocket. And you're going to be able to have 40 products that you can list in your shop without having to pay listing fees. Okay, so you can follow the instructions there for opening your shop, setting up your preferences, and then this is where you're going to, really focus on optimizing each product listing. And so you want to go through the Etsy tools section, because that is going to give you direct links to the tools that will really help you explode your Etsy sales. So things like the Etsy fee calculator, that's going to really be important in helping you to make sure that each listing is profitable. So you don't want to go in the hole when you create your products. You want to make sure that you're charging enough to account for all of the Etsy fees that you might have to pay. Now, the great thing about Etsy too is you can list your products for free. So you get these 40 free products, you get your products listed. You don't have to pay these Etsy fees other than your, the charge that they give you for opening your shop. But when you actually open the shop, you won't have to pay anything until your product sells. So you list your product for free and you promote it and you do the things, run traffic ads maybe. Etsy does have ads that will make your products more visible. If you want to buy an ad, you can do that, or you can drive traffic to your Etsy listings on your own. But basically, you don't pay again until you sell your product. So you pay those Etsy fees on the back end, and you don't want to go in the hole when you have to pay those fees. You want to make sure that you're always profitable. So this fee calculator is going to help you to price your products in a way that will enable you to be profitable. Next, we talk about, we give you a link to ChatGPT. Now, a lot of people are using ChatGPT. However, if you're not, I would recommend using ChatGPT because it's going to be great for helping you get ideas for product titles, for your descriptions, social media hashtags, and so much more. You're not going to have to sit there and try to figure out how to, use the right keywords or use the right hashtags or come up with the, 13 tags. You're going to be able to, let AI help you. Now, you may not want to just copy and paste everything straight out of ChatGPT, but the thing that you want to do with this tool is you want to use it for ideas. So it can come up with ideas in a snap. You can get your listings up and running and be on your way. Etsy Hunt Keyword Research Tool. This is a tool that I started out using, and it's really good at helping you figure out the keywords that are going to be popular, the keywords and the trends for things that people are looking for on Etsy. So you want to definitely check that out. In the beginning, I believe you can use it for free. You may be able to use it for free forever, but at some point, in order for you to get, more in-depth data, you may want to, pay for it. And, but Etsy Hunt is one of the better, in my opinion, Etsy Hunt is one of the better keyword research tools out there in terms of the accuracy. So, there are a lot of keyword research tools out there, but you want to definitely test out the accuracy because some of them are not necessarily in sync with Etsy, and you may have, some data that may not be as up to date as you would like. Okay, so next we have Canva. Canva is a great way if you decide that you want to do digital products on Etsy. Canva is a great way to make digital products, and you can make these digital products using the free Canva. Like Canva has a free version and it has a paid version. You can use the free version to create digital products. and I have a whole nother video on that. But Canva is another great resource that you can use for mock-ups. You can use Canva to create products. You can list, create images for your listings. And so that's why we included Canva. Now we also included Placeit, because Placeit also gives you the ability to create mock-ups. And you want to have great looking mock-ups for your Etsy listings so that people will have an idea of what your product is going to look like on them, especially if you're selling things like apparel or you're selling a digital product. You want to kind of show, people either using it or hanging it up on the wall, or, something that lets them know what this might look like when they make their purchase. So Placeit is a good resource for that. Next, we have Etsy bestsellers. So when you look at the bestsellers list, that's going to tell you what it's selling on Etsy. And when you use this with the keyword tool, that's going to give you a really good idea of what is actually going to be profitable for you. The other thing that this does is it also shows you what people are making in similar niches as yours. So let's say that you're in the, I don't know, maybe you're someone who has healthy recipes and you make healthy, menus and things like that you sell on Etsy. If there are other people out there that are selling that product and they are on the bestsellers list, that's going to kind of give you kind of a modified proof of concept that this is a product that is selling. People are buying it. People are, making money with it. And so that's going to give you a really good indication that this is something that you would be able to sell and make money with as well. The other thing that you can do with this is you can click on the listings of the bestsellers to see, how other companies are selling products that are similar to yours. Now, that doesn't mean go out and steal someone's ideas or hijack their products. What this means is you can get a pretty good idea of maybe their, their workflow, or the way that they, the way they structure their listings, the way they have their mock-ups laid out, and you can get ideas. So it doesn't mean, there are a lot of people out there that want to steal your stuff. However, this is not, the platform for that. The bestsellers list is really to give you data that you can use to make a product that is your own. So you might make something similar to someone else's, but you're not just taking their ideas and, trying to pass them off as your own. But the bestsellers list gives you a really good insight as to what your competition is doing and how you can maybe structure what you're doing and make it your own. Have your own ideas and maybe add your own unique perspective to whatever that product is. Now, there's also some tools that we have for lead generation, for landing pages. You want to have a platform that you can create landing pages and lead generation pages on. And then you need to also follow Etsy's guidelines for how you can send people from Etsy to your landing page or to your lead generation page. And the reason you want to do this is so that you can build a list. So when you build a list, that means that you're building an audience of people that are interested in what you're selling. So in your Etsy store, you may have customers that are really into whatever it is that you're selling. You want to get those folks on a list so that you can send them information. For example, when you're going to have a sale in your Etsy store, or when you're going to have a, maybe you're going to have a buy one, get one, or some kind of deal that they can get. You want to notify people of that. The other thing you want to do is you want to start sending people useful content that they can maybe consume about your niche. You want to keep it all focused on the niche that you cover on Etsy. And you want to make sure that you're sending them maybe if you have a course, or if you have some helpful information that will, give them the ability to do something that maybe they can't do right now, then you can provide them with those resources and you can let them know about it using email. So that way you're starting to build a relationship with your customers. You don't want to just get on Etsy and have a customer that, buys from you one time. You want repeat customers. You want people that are interested in your niche, people that you can talk to about your niche, and people that you can talk to about your business. So this is the lead generation and landing page builder that we use, and we're recommending it out to other people. This is something that you can use if you're on WordPress. So we're on WordPress. We have a WordPress blog as well as a WooCommerce store. And if you're on WordPress, you don't have to have a blog. Some people are not interested in having a blog, but they do have a WooCommerce store. And that's how they're able to get people off of Etsy and onto a platform that they own and control. So WooCommerce is a self-hosted platform that you can use to sell products and services. It's similar to Shopify, but Shopify is kind of the gold standard when it comes to e-commerce. So if you're thinking about, maybe you don't want to have a blog, but you want to have a shop, Shopify might be the tool that you might want to use. Next, we're going to show you how to set up your email marketing system. So your email marketing system and your lead generation system are going to work together. And when you have your business established on Etsy, again, you want to follow their rules or their instructions. I think Etsy will allow you to have a page that you can talk about your business on, and you can talk about your website. So if you set up a page where people can learn about your business, maybe you set up an about page and you have a lead generation form on that about page that tells people, about your company, and then gives them the ability to sign up for your list, that is probably going to be something that might be acceptable to Etsy. But again, I don't use my Etsy shop in that way. It's just kind of there. And I list stuff every now and then, but I don't really have all of this set up because my primary focus is my my own shop that I own and control. So, but you want to set up an email marketing system that includes a lead generation form and a landing page that you can send people to. And for the purposes of Etsy, just check into Etsy to see if they will allow you to have maybe an about page where you can set up that about page with an opt-in form so that people can sign up to get on your list. And that would be a great way for you to grow your Etsy store and also get people, kind of transition people from Etsy to a shop and a platform that you own. Next, you want to, set up your preferences. You want to also make sure that you're using these tools to optimize your product listings. Now, when I talk about optimizing your product listings, what I mean by that is you want to make sure that people who are on Etsy find your listings. So one of the downsides of Etsy is that everybody and their brother is on there. So that means that you may have a lot of competition. And so you want to find that low-hanging fruit. You want to find the products that are not as competitive, but products that have high search volume. And when you do that, you also want to optimize your titles, your attributes, and your tags so that they contain the keywords that people are typing into Etsy. And again, you want to use a keyword research tool, and you also want to check into the best sellers so that you can find that low-hanging fruit and optimize those listings, in terms of your titles, your attributes, and your tags. So you want to do your product research, before you create your listing. There's nothing worse than creating a listing, spending time creating your product, or getting your product together, getting it listed, and then finding out that it's not really something that sells. So you want to make sure that you're doing your product keyword research before you actually spend time doing a listing. And then you want to make sure that you are gathering all your essentials. So I would recommend that you use this checklist. Just, maybe print out this one page and use this checklist in the beginning until you get the hang of listing your products and you start seeing some success, right? So you want to make sure that you are optimizing your listings, and then you want to also take steps each day to, promote your products. You can, as I said earlier, you can buy ads on Etsy, or you can send traffic. You can use social media, you can use the email marketing system that we talked about, and you can drive traffic to your Etsy listings. And you want to also think about things like product and competitor research. You want to make sure that you are collecting emails in a way that complies with Etsy's terms. You want to create a landing page, and that is where we kind of introduce you to this tool. If you have a tool that's already working for you, you can use that as well. You also want to sign up with an email marketing provider so that you can collect emails. And then you also want to make sure that you're creating package inserts that will go into each one of your products that are being, if you have products that are being shipped out to your customers, then you want to create package inserts that will drive them back to either your Etsy store or the platform that you are using that is not, Etsy. Hopefully it's one that is self-hosted and one that you own and control. Okay, so now that we've kind of gone through the checklist, you see what it's about, you can decide whether this is something that will work for you. So these are the pages that I added. Once I started going through this checklist, I realized that, how are you going to be successful if you're not able to track your metrics? So I created these extra pages, and this basically gives you a place to record your metrics or your data once a month. You want to sit down once a month and you want to write down, things like your sales metrics, and I give you all the different metrics you might want to think about. And then you might want to also track your listing metrics. So for this page, you're going to want to print out one page for each listing that you have. So let's say that you take me up on the offer for 40 free listings, and you have 40 listings on your new Etsy store. You want to print out 40 pages, and you want to go through this exercise for each listing. And this is going to tell you what products are selling, what products are not selling, what products that you need to improve upon, maybe even some products that you might want to discontinue. But you want to know that about the products that you're selling so that you can highlight what's working, and then you want to not do, or you want to diminish or eliminate the things that are not working. So maybe you have a product that no one clicks on. Then you want to either tweak that product to make it better, or you want to maybe test it out against another version of that product, so that you can see what is going on with that product and improve it or get rid of it so that you can maximize your store. You really just want to work with products that are working. Okay, so then the next thing you want to think about tracking is your shop traffic and your marketing metrics. So this is really important as well. It's good to look at your data, at a really detailed way, but then you also, if you don't want to look at each individual listing, you definitely want to make sure that you're tracking your overall shop metrics and your marketing methods, your marketing metrics rather. So you have things like your total visitors, your traffic sources, click-through rate, and this is for your shop as a whole. Next, you want to make sure that you're profitable, right? So that goes back to our Etsy profit calculator. You want to make sure that when you use that Etsy profit calculator, that it's giving you consistent data. So when you actually look at the real world, so before you list, you're going to use the Etsy profit calculator. And then once you've kind of had a couple of months where your products are selling, you want to take a look at this sheet, and you want to look at your cost of goods sold, your net profit, and your shipping costs to make sure that you are still profitable, right? Now I'm going to have to adjust these little spaces. It looks like these are off. So I will go back in and adjust those. But you definitely want to make sure that you're using these profitability metrics. You're in business to make money, and you want to make sure that each and every one of your listings is going to be profitable for you so that you can start really bringing in the kind of money that you want to. Okay, and then last but not least, we have the improvement metrics. So this is where you're going to write down, let's say that you go in and you find that there's a listing, nobody's clicking on it, nobody viewed it, nobody, it's just not getting any action whatsoever. You want to use this page to kind of list out some of the improvements that you might have made to your listing or to the SEO or to the way that you're promoting it. And then maybe the next month you want to see if there's any kind of improvement. And if there is an improvement, then you want to just keep tweaking it and making those improvements. But when you write down the improvements that you're making to the listings that are not working, then you're going to know what is actually working if you have that problem again. The other thing about writing down what you did, it helps you to understand what's working with your audience and what's not working. So what might be working for me, like I might look at your Etsy store and make a recommendation, because I'm going to do that based off of what's working for my audience. However, what works for my audience may not work for your audience. So it's really important that you are writing down and tracking any changes that you're making for any of those listings that are not doing well. Now, if you have listings that are all doing well, then this is not a page that you would have to use. And this is the great thing about this checklist. You can, print out the pages that you feel are relevant to you and your Etsy store. And then for the pages that don't apply, or the pages that you feel are, kind of redundant, then you don't have to print those pages out. But this is going to be a really good tool for you to use if you're starting an Etsy store. In my opinion, I wish I had had this when I started my Etsy store. And the other thing that you have to be aware of is that with these metrics, you have to really, sit down, just pick out a day each month to sit down and go over your metrics. And when you start looking at your metrics and your data, that's going to help you to make better, more informed decisions when it comes to, what to keep, what to eliminate, how to optimize, what keywords are working. You want to make sure that you're writing that stuff down so that you can get the best results with your shop. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I hope that you will check out this checklist and use it each time you do a listing, and also to analyze your data at least once a month. All right, and if you like this video, if you got value from it, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and pass it on to anyone that you think might benefit. Okay, thanks a lot. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video.